And in the beginning, we just want to say the people, there's a man died tonight, yesterday I think, or today, a Muslim man died as well, and 15 people died, so we just want to show our sympathies with them and with their loss as well. Our topic, just like things we know about, things are happening, we'll touch on that. And our guest tonight, on my left, close to me actually, from Salvation Army is a local leader, Captain Nick Coke. And far left, and we have a teacher from Kunming University. His name is a Chalco local leader, Shweta Chaudhary. You got a beautiful name. A lot of people will be asking you, what's the meaning of the name? Before we go, can I just give a briefing what I want to talk about today? You know, this thing happened in France. A lot of people are worried. A lot of people are thinking, what's going to happen? It's a magazine called Charlie. I don't know if I can't pronounce it. It's a French one, isn't it? Charlie Hebdo, is it? Or Charlie Hebdo. Yeah. See what I mean? My French is not good. And yeah. So I think it's a magazine. I think it's torn around the world now. What the magazine done to it. There were some cartoons. A few years ago, I'm sure you know about. A few years ago, there was a cartoon in another country. It was
Denmark.
Denmark, that's right, yeah. Thanks for helping me. Denmark happened. And after that, I think a lot of people died as well. About 150 people died because of that. And then now, recently, we have a similar line. And I think the magazine started in 1970. It's a left-wing magazine. They're proud to be anti-faith or anti-religion. But the problem is, I find it is, the way the Muslim took you can't say it's a revenge thing. I think it's more clear now. It's a political thing. They're from Al-Qaeda. So it's always the Al-Qaeda and the West always have this kind of rivalry. And so they're part of that. Can I just ask Nick, I'm sure you heard of things happening now. Can I just ask you what you know about it and what's your view?
Well, I've heard a lot about it because it's been on the news. Constantly now for a week and a little bit more. I mean, it's a terrible thing, terrible incident. Awful that anybody is killed in the way in which people were killed. And there's been a lot of debate. So initially, obviously, people were offering condolences to those who were killed, but it's been interesting how the debate has quite quickly moved on. To people starting to talk about why and who and what is our response that ordinary people should have, that governments should have, that we in the West should have. Lots of talk about freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. So it seems to me that the newspapers, the media have been absolutely full of people commenting, and part of that I think is because they feel it's an attack on them. Because it was a newspaper and it was some kind of journalism and this thing about freedom of speech, which is a massive part of France. But I think for non-journalists, for ordinary people that I talk to around here, say in Tower Hamlets in London, that maybe the issue isn't so much about freedom of speech, but there's some fear about what's happened. Could it happen here? Could something like that happen here? There's a fear of these things happening in a bigger way, and we all have a responsibility. And I think that you talk about response. How would I respond to it? Well, the response has to be that we have to look for hope beyond anything else. It's pointless us talking negatively, increasing cycles of negativity, looking for the enemy and pointing fingers all the time and that kind of thing, drawing lines between different groups of people. We have to look for hope.